record video. Alright, so welcome back to the Mike's Madness YouTube channel, or sorry, this isn't the YouTube channel. This is Twitch, but I will be putting it on the YouTube channel either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not really sure, depending on how it goes, how I'm going to be able to upload if it'll work this time. Let me there we go. So, it's been a long time since I've done any kind of recording or streaming or anything. I can't remember the last time I did anything like that. I think it's been almost a month, I think, if not a month, just about. And the reason for that is that there's really not much going on in sports, but recently with some, states starting to reopen and all that, the sports teams are getting back. They're starting to negotiate how they're finish the season or start the season, depending on what sport it is. And, there's just been a couple of things that have been going on that I want to get to. So it's been a long time, but we're going to get right into some thoughts. This is going to be like the Thursday Thoughts podcast, I guess, if you want to really call it that. I don't really know. But yeah, so if you can't tell, I desperately need a haircut. My hair is really long, but again, whatever, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, let's get right into it. And I'm going to start off with a headline that I saw. I either saw it last night or this morning, and it was regarding NCAA. Now, I think it was talking about all NCAA sports in general, and they said, it was a guy from CBS Sports Network, and he said, it's only a matter of time until the Power 5 conferences branch off and start their own association. So if you don't know what the Power 5 is, it is, in the NCAA, it's the Big 10, ACC, Big 12, SEC, and Pac-12. That's the Power 5. The conferences, the top 5 conferences, they Power 5. Okay, that's just what they call them. They are still part of the NCAA. It's not like it's their own thing. It's just a term that is commonly used to refer teams from those 5. They said that it's only a matter of time until the Power 5 conferences branch out and start their own associations separate from the NCAA. And the headline was, why do the Power 5 teams and the Power 5 conferences, why do they need the NCAA? And their point was, well, they really don't. So it's only a matter of time until they branch off and start their own association. And I read that headline. I didn't read the whole story, but I just read the headline, and I skimmed through a little bit of it. And I found it quite interesting because I'm not really sure what kind of, sports fan or I don't really know what kind of sports that guy watches, because 5 teams don't need the NCAA. That's just absurd. I mean, that's the break. When you talk about college basketball in March, it's March Madness. The NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness, right? It's not. And if those Power 5 teams were to branch out and start their own association, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people would watch their games. I would. I definitely would. I'm not saying that nobody would watch their games. What I am saying is it takes away from a lot of the reasons why having so many teams in one association is so great. Again, going back to March Madness, think about it that way. If the Power 5 teams branch off and start their own association, there's no March Madness upset Cinderella stories. There's no 6-8 field tournament. No stories like I just mentioned. No Power 5 teams in the NCAA their own thing, then they're not going to participate in the NCAA tournament, which would, in a hypothetical case, would be a separate association themselves. So, again, NCAA tournament, they'd be having their own postseason thing. And again, if they're and these lower non the not Power 5 teams, they're still in the NCAA, upset you're possibly going to have a team that you've never heard of, probably, for sake of BC and Virginia. There's 16 beating the one, huge upset, right? I mean, sure, there could still be a one in this case if they were to still keep up 68, and it would not be as exciting because it is against a team that is not as good as the team in the Power 5 or whatever it would be. Analyze this is just a hypothetical situation. The teams branch off and start their own association. I don't agree with but yeah, think about it. Sure, it is. There's an example. The Big Ten, Northwestern was Northwestern number one team in the country to Kentucky. Sure, that's a big upset, but it is not as if UMBC would know if there are a Power 5 conference, 5 association, separate from the NCAA. There's no Stephen F. Austin beating this. None of that would happen, and that is NCAA basketball so great is that upsets are upsets are great, right? Who upset? And again, it takes away from there being such a great beat Duke, right? The 14 seed Mercer beat. That was huge, right? And sure, if still won a game, that would be a decent upset. But think about if they did it against a 3rd seed. I don't know, Georgetown, right? I mean, Villanova, okay, still a decent upset, but to take those Power 5 away from that, you just it would be a detrimental blow to, and that's just college basketball. We talk about college basketball is there. Now, yes, sure, there's no 68 team tournament in college football. Still upsets, right? And sure, I understand that lower on teams college football. I get that. Still close games and deals to play the teams, and they the smaller school from that, so it helps them out as well. And I think if, and again, I mean, at least, but if this was just a hypothetical, if the Power 5 teams would branch off association, mental blow to college basketball, more so than football, right? And 2 sports that I mainly follow, right? I mean, I'm sure that lacrosse or soccer would also, this principle would be there as well, but I mean, to say that it's only a matter of time, that doesn't, and here's the other, I mean, have the Power 5 teams only be the conferences to help start their association. Teams like Villanova, Georgia, Creighton, probably names out that of teams that have been good in recent years, right? Utah State, San Diego State. Those are teams. All of those teams that I just mentioned are teams that are not in Power 5 conferences. And think about it, Villanova has won their fair share of NCAA and Georgetown. These teams are good. San Diego State won it year, and it just takes away. It'll take away the value of the championship, both in a hypothetical Power association only, and in the NCAA, right? Because now, if you are like a decent team, you have a really good shot at if they were to keep a teams away from value away from winning association, because all those teams are really good, but that you will have to beat in order to win that title. And it doesn't make sense. I don't understand. That guy would be saying that it's only a matter of time until 4 or 5 teams branch off from their association. Doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why. It just honestly, yeah, it just. So those are my thoughts on that. Thoughts about that, or if you read if you knew that story that I'm talking about, or you read it, or you just have some thoughts based on that, feel free to put it in the comments below. That'd be great. Again, if there's something that you have thoughts on, please comment, whatever. Yes, always welcome. So, a little bit of the story. I thought a stupid take to say that the Power 5 team not sure. When you look down at details, it doesn't make any sense at all. Just an association with college sports. It doesn't. I mean, you take a deeper look at all. No way. And something I just thought of just now, mainly about basketball and football. That principle and those ideas can be relevant there. About lacrosse, like they had some classic college lacrosse game a couple of weeks ago, and I was just watching different had coronavirus and they had on lacrosse, and it was Maryland and Brown, I think. And I'm guessing that the lacrosse are non-Power 5 conferences that are good, right? I mean, top 10 team that year, whatever year it was. I forget what year it was from. But that way, you take away the competition. You take away the competition between teams not Power 5 conferences, name for the rest of them. That and man, what was the other lacrosse thing? Hawkins, that's it. I think they're in the Big Ten. Everything else, not just lacrosse. So I think it would be interesting to see how that goes. Where works out, right? And again, I mean, UConn, that's been a good team in recent years. I don't know. I think if you're going to have Power 5 branch off and start their association, it will the ratings will go down. They'll make as much money on their own. Except and will possibly be more competitive right? If you were talking about it from that perspective. So again, I don't see it being. What I'm saying is, sure, it's a great idea when you first think about it, but when you get down to the deeper details and logistics about it, you realize not a good idea and it would never work. Um, so yeah, again, that's my thoughts on that. Uh, and it was an interesting idea because I never really heard of anybody coming up with this. It's not, maybe it's not, I've never seen anything like that before, so I thought that was interesting. I thought about that a little bit. I want to get to is let's move into baseball, shall we? Yeah, the MLB submitted or the or whatever submitted. No, it did not go over well. Like, what is just terrible. I heard the the salaries were a lot. And here's the thing: I'm gonna get it. Highest paid players were not percent of their original salary. I think, or yeah, I think so. I don't know, but and here's the thing: I understand people are gonna say, well, look, these millionaires, they're gonna complain about. They got their Bentleys and their Bugattis and their sports cars and that have a roller coaster and stuff like that, basketball court. I get it, or whatever. I get it. Professional athletes have a lot of money. I get it. But here's the thing: sit down during contract negotiations, and and this is something that I'm about to say is something that Adam Jones had said. I had to get up early the other day to go to school and get the rest of my belongings. And so I had to get up early, and the Korea Baseball Organization was on, and they had like Adam Jones on with the guys calling it or whatever, and he brought up a good point. He said, "Look, sit down during contract negotiations, and they sign a deal. They sign a deal for a set amount of money. And look, I understand that, and he was basically saying that. Look, I understand everything's different, right? Get it, but here's for a certain amount of money, and look." This is not anything that you could have ever predicted in a contract negotiation. So sure, you can say, okay, well, look, this is an unprecedented time. Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. It's maybe like, okay, you're gonna make half of what you make, or you're gonna make 40% or of what you would originally make, or maybe 55 or something like that. But for players to be making less less than half, like substantially less than half of what they were originally going to make, that's not a good formula. Sure, you can say, okay, look, they're rich athletes or whatever. That's their job. It's not like at the end of the day, it's not like high school sports where you go practice and then you come home and you do homework and then maybe the weekend you have you go to work at 7-Eleven full time. They don't go home and do homework. But it's not like they go home and like, all right, get ready to go work at Walmart. No, that's not how it works. Their job, and for them, not a lot of money. What they for them, not having any or he goes, so they're and way more money than the players are. So like in the that did take right, have enough money for yourself. I mean, okay, sorry, you're gonna and it's here's the thing, you're gonna go out and only you know the same rate or close to it, maybe not the same great. So there's no reason percent effort 10%. Uh, a lot of players 10% of their salary, they don't exactly have a lot of money to be paid. And you're probably thinking, look, what do you mean they don't have money? They got money. A lot of money. You're gonna have to let go in order to work things out. I get it, right? I get it, it's fine. It's about the money, it's about the statistics, it's about just being, it seems like owners are just taking on the money. Don't know what to tell you. You're gonna be making it's like you get on a Zoom call or whatever. Right, look, sorry, we're not coming to the office, so you know I guess that means you can't really uh, as you would at the office. So you're gonna make 15% of what you made last year. You say, wait a minute, what? I'm still doing work. I'm still, you know, I'm still putting work in. I'm still doing my job. And that's the other thing. These players that are at home, they're still training. They're still lifting weights and training and doing all that stuff. They're getting ready to play games. They're getting ready to do their job. And to say, okay, well, since we're playing less games, we're going to make less money. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I meant 15% of what you made last year. What? And again, I get it. You're going to play less games. You're going to make less money because of less revenue, whatever. I get it. But make only 15% what they made last year? That seems a little ridiculous. That seems a little extreme. And I said the players are getting antsy about it, like blame them. I'd feel the same way. And I can't remember if it was Adam Jones who said it or they also had another night they had Eric Thames on, and one of them said, "Look, sooner or later, one side's gonna have to bite the bullet. One side's just gonna say, okay, um, we gotta work here. We gotta find a compromise. And if either side's willing to budge, then I guess we're not having Major League Baseball this season. So, which again could lead to a players' strike, could lead to the two sides are not work a deal out. So I just wanted to get my thoughts out on that. And another thing is sports. Yeah, hockey. That's what it was. Hockey. They are coming back. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I think like they're gonna start practices and I think start this. They're gonna start playing games in July. And the way it's going to work is the regular season is over. They're going right into the season, and they're going to have a bracket. The top 24 teams left, 12 from each conference, from the Eastern and Western, 12 from each. So the three games, their season's over. We're through the 12th best team from each conference playing in a best of five um, uh, best of five series. Couldn't think of the word. Let me see if I can actually pull up that. Let me see. NHL 2014. Oh. NHL 2014 bracket. Here we go. That's not it, is it? (2020) NHL. Right. Okay. This. Okay. Sorry about that. This a little bit. It might be a little weird. My apologies. Um, but basically, what they're gonna do is you see, it's the team. You got the Western Conference and the top 14 from are in the middle. For the East, you got Boston, Tampa Bay, Washington, Philadelphia. From the West, you have St. Louis, Colorado, Vegas. Those top 14. Now, let's start with the Western Conference on the right. Let me actually, I think I can use this. Yeah. So here we go. We're starting on this side right here. You've got Calgary right here, and you've got Winnipeg right here. Those teams will be playing against each other winner of a 5-game series. 5. The same goes for Edmonton and Chicago, Vancouver against Minnesota, and Nashville. Those games, the series, they move on to the next round. Now, 3 seed and 4 seed of the Western Conference, and the same thing goes for the Eastern Conference as well. Those teams there. The Western Conference seeding, it's not just whoever was the best. So if St. Louis was the best team in the Western Conference, which I believe they were, that doesn't mean that they're going to be the number 1 seed. The top 4 teams will be playing a round-robin tournament or formatted thing, and they will basically what that means is they're all going to play against each other, I believe, and whoever has the best record out of those 4 games, I think there'll be 3 games. Let me check real quick. Oh, the mouse is on the other screen. Okay. Let's Google 2020 NHL proposed playoffs. Yeah, so they approved it. This is how it's going to. What's happening? Trying to see how the round robin can work. How is the I don't know. I'm just gonna go with what I said before. So um, I'm not 100% sure how it's gonna work. But I think the 4 teams record is the number 2 times or 3 times. I'm not really sure the exact details about it, but that's gonna work. And so then the basically the first one with Calgary and Winnipeg and Edmonton and Vancouver and all those teams and for the Toronto and Columbus and Pittsburgh and all those teams. Basically, how it's going to work is the winners of those teams, or the winners of those teams, will move on to the first, basically the first round of the play. That first round with Calgary and Edmonton and all those teams. That's basically a play-in round. That's what that. And so the wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay, so yeah, the Stanley Cup playoffs will have 16 teams instead of the traditional. I think right, 1, 2, 3. I don't know. 16 teams. And, yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's still this year. It's 2014 field with a play-in. Same thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think actually though, before and normally it is the top 3 teams from each division, so like the Pacific and the division, I think. The top 3 teams from those I think is oh, I guess there's more. Well, there are more teams. You got Calgary, Vegas, Vancouver, Edmonton. So, yeah, there's about 3 more teams per division at the playoffs. So yeah, that's the playoffs for the NHL season to finish up. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure why the six. I guess you're trying to finish up as quickly as possible, but I don't play it season. Some, not these teams. And I guess really so they more of the offense. Not they weren't sure if they were or not. So I feel like it would have been more sense to just have last teams play each other. Okay? Not for the playoffs, play each other just so they can have some kind of kind of finish this. I feel that it was a certain thing that was interesting. And here, that's where the mouse will show up. Come on. I want to get my back. There we go. I'm going to get back to college. One last bit of. They're trying to have some kind of football here. And or something. It was, basically like, look, I don't know if we're going to have college football. First was, we're going to have games. We're going to have all that good stuff. Then it was, maybe 20% full, right? And it was, okay, maybe 50%. Then it was 6 feet apart, and 6 feet apart between seats. No concession stands. Wear a mask. You have to wear gloves. You have to wear a hazmat suit. You're gonna be dismissed by section like the school. You can only go to the bathroom. If you look, first it was this, then it was that, then it was this, then that. The list kept growing and growing and growing. Of is trouble just to have some college football games. Some would argue yes. Here's the thing. It's gonna be, don't have. I mean, you're gonna have to be 6 feet apart at all times. If you're 5 feet 10 inches away, if you can only person go to the bathroom at a time. You can't go to the stadium. If it's gonna be a pain to play games with no fans, because that's the thing. If you want to play games, but don't make it a miserable experience. Because when everything gets back to remember that we had to do all that, I want to go back, even if it's anymore. I just because there's always going to be those people apart from me. You know, there's gonna be people getting all up in your face like it's normal. Whatever. What I'm saying is, don't make the experience miserable because that's going to, if that day ever comes. You're gonna want to go back. Sometime it was a hassle. That's how people are. This ruins it for some people. That's how it is. If you're not gonna have, if it's gonna be an absolute experience and it's gonna be excruciating, don't have. Here's the thing. Don't have a lot of people. That experience, come back again. And season ticket holders are gonna say, "I want my money back. Give me my money. I'm not gonna go to the games. I want my money back." Right? But at the end of the day, these teams, these schools, and I think here, I mean, to like donate money to the school or whatever. I think you just say, okay, look, season we're gonna give all the money back for the tickets. You're still season tickets, right? You're donating, a little, right? This is something, and yeah, because you donate more money, you get better. And look, here's another thing. I back then, but here's an idea. People love for college football. I'm talking. People love to tailgate, right? That is what it is. People love to tailgate. I mean, and again, this is September. A little bit better by then. I think you could have less than people or whatever together, right? I mean, let's just say 10, just for kicks and giggles. 10 people is half at one time. You have, you know, here's your parking, and there's can't have space for tailgating. You can still tailgate and you will do something, right? But you still can't go in the stadium. You can be outside and tailgate out there and tailgate all game. Go in there. So to have come, there's so many people. The lines are long anyway. Lines up back to their cars. It's just one of those things. So that don't do it. And some people argue that my choice. If I want to take the risk of getting sick, send me those people that say that. Which is fine. should be rich, but all about you, right? If by myself, or I want to go, I don't know, I want to go to, people anyway. Fine. But say it should be my choice with 70,000 other people. Like, go get my hair cut, but you're going to go to a college football game with 70. So it's not work, and because there's a reason why these all these no, you can't do that, you can't do that. No. Now they have a college football game, fine, because we can all go to Walmart, which is nothing. I just other people, but I get a haircut. Have the games at Walmart for all you want. So let's just change the first something to do. Their significant. It just uh, uh, man, this virus is really smart. You know, Walmart for 300 thing to get a cut. Oh, you're done for. You're living there. That virus in the waiting area. Waiting at Dunkin' Donuts for you to come in, so I can just pounce on you. But it's too scared of the grocery store. The grocery store because coronavirus is the grocery store. It loves everything else. It loves the parks. So you can't go there. Or 50 walking around, and you know people are. They're going to the grocery store. They're distancing. No mask, putting their hands on their face, and the things on the wall there. 20 rolls of toilet paper there. There, tissue. Some people are they're not following these rules, these guidelines. Being a there's an point, so it made me think of a whole other perspective. If you guys don't agree with me, then fine, I don't care. The Thursday podcast, if you enjoy, that'd be, I don't know if you can still kind of new to this, so I am watching on YouTube. The next video, you know it. I'm out. I want to stream, buddy. Here we go.